last one. Let's head over to Colin Cowherd. Colin, what's on the show today?
Well, there's two bandwagons you can definitely jump on this morning. Bail, get out of here. Cavs are done. Or take a deep breath, they're going to be fine. I'll tell you which bandwagon I'm jumping on next.
Thanks, Colin. Time for our final topic of the day. Last night was the latest example of the mounting tension between NBA refs and players. Russell Westbrook was hit in the face on a layup attempt late in the fourth quarter, but was called for traveling. He then got 2 quick technical fouls and then was ejected. After the game, Carmelo Anthony said, quote, "I'm done with the refs, no disrespect, but I'm done with those guys." Shannon, how big of a problem is this for the NBA?
This is a huge problem, Skip, and I don't know if it's going to be able to wait until the All-Star game. Yesterday, they had 21 technical fouls, 5 ejections. There have been 110 different referees involved with on-court situation with players. LeBron James has been ejected, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Westbrook. That's 5 of your biggest stars being thrown out of the ball game. Skip, unfortunately, I know Commissioner Silver wants to wait until the All-Star game because he can get all of them together, but I don't believe it's going to be able to wait that long. Something's going to have to be. I don't know, and you know, they keep saying, well, we need to get rid of all these refs and get. I don't know how you get 110, 120 new refs trained up to speed and ready to go.
You can't.
But something has to be done, Skip. This is not a good look.
So NBA stars have effectively declared war on all referees. They want them all gone. Start over from scratch. And I am still on the ref side on this issue. And Adam Silver has a much better relationship with his stars than Roger Goodell has with his stars in the NFL. And it has benefited the NBA in many ways, but it has turned too many of the NBA stars into spoiled, rotten brats, basically, who get away with protesting every call. It's getting hard to watch because every whistle, it's like, what?
What?
You call a foul on me?
Oh, on him? You didn't call it?
What? And it's like the stars are starting to feel like they're bigger than the game to the point that, get these refs out of our face, they're messing up our game. No, actually, you guys are. So the commissioner, and this is going to be the trickiest challenge of his career so far, he's going to have to redraw that line between the refs and the players. And the only way I know to redraw it is quicker whistles. They're going to have more of these quick whistle ejections and technical fouls. But you just have to. One year they tried calling them very quickly at the start of the year under Commissioner Stern, and it just was chaos. Because if you turn to protest any call, boom, whistle.
But Skip, here's the thing, is that some of these officials are getting to the point where reffing an NBA Finals game is on their resume, and they're looking at the players like, bro, hey, I got some finals on my resume too. Now hold up, wait a second. Now, no. Ain't nobody paying big bucks. They're not paying $1 billion in TV money to come see you throw somebody out of the game. So slow it down a little bit. But something's got to be done, Skip, and I'm afraid it's not going to be able to wait until the All-Star game.
I think you're right.
That's it for us. We'll be back tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern. Right now, Colin Cowherd tells you why LeBron should stay the course.
Guess where I'm going, Joy?
The herd starts now.
I'm going somewhere special, Joy.
Oh.
This is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, we are live in Los Angeles. iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. It is great to have you here. I can't wait for today's show. I got to pay off a big bet on today's show.
Yes, Pastor.
I do. A very expensive bet.
You're going to do that today?
Yeah, I got to pay that off today. I'm not looking forward to that, actually. I'd rather win bets than lose them and have to buy people magnificent things. Christine Leahy, that's the voice you hear on radio or see on television right now, joining me on a Tuesday. So let me just start with this. Cavs lost last night to Golden State. I've actually watched all 3 of the Cavs-Golden State games this year. They've all looked the same. They're all very encouraging for either team. If you're Golden State, it's nice to know we are now better officially than LeBron's group. If you're Cleveland, I'm watching last night, and I'm thinking, they're getting there. They're getting there. They're okay. Every time they play Golden State, they're motivated. The line last night in Vegas was only 5. Even Vegas knows. They play Golden State, they come to play. They did. Late in the game, the better team, younger team, better defensive team won. I'm going to stand by my prediction with the Cavs, even after losing last night. This is my prediction. Let's wait until the NBA All-Star break around Valentine's Day on February 15th. Let's let this Isaiah Thomas thing work itself out for about 20 games. Let's see where they're at. Last January, on MLK Day, they lost by 33 to the Warriors. I watched them last night. That was a 4-point game for a lot of it. Last year, we all looked foolish, overreacting. Don't go there. Now, you can. That's what makes sports great. And I would just say this. I think this is my personality. I grew up with some chaos as a kid, so whenever I see chaos, I try to take a deep breath. Heavy breathing, don't overreact. I remember in 2008, stock market crashed. I was reading articles, capitalism is dead, pull your money out of 401ks. I went the opposite. In March of 2009, every penny I had jammed it into the market. I've never pulled it out. A lot of people said, there's two bandwagons. You can jump on the, I'm going to bail, I'm going to pull out my 401k, or, no, I don't think capitalism is dead. I'm going to go the other way. It's paid off for me. Every September, seemingly, New England struggles, especially the last two. There's two bandwagons to jump on. Oh, my God, New England, Brady, it's over. Nah, Belichick's the best teacher in the NFL. My feeling is they'll kind of figure it out. Second straight year, they've figured it out. Like, there's two bandwagons. This is why I love sports. Sports, you take a side, I take a side, and then we figure out over time who's right. A lot of you pulled all your money out of the market. I wasn't going to do it. A lot of you bailed on New England in September. I'm not going to do it. A lot of you bailed on the Cavs last year in January when they lost by 33 to the Warriors on MLK Day and had a losing record. I wasn't going to do it, and I'm not going to do it now. I saw a story this morning. It said multiple Cavs acknowledging growing discontent. So let me read you the story. Several prominent players speaking on a condition of anonymity say, number one, they're concerned about the Cavs' aging roster. Let's not overreact. It is old. They're concerned about defensively challenged personnel. I'm not going to overreact. They are challenged. Players are concerned about a glut of redundant role players. Everybody in this league's got a bunch of guys that shoot threes. Yeah. The story also says with a trade deadline looming February 8th, the Cavaliers do have some options. That's encouraging and also true. It should also be noted they reeled off 18 wins in 19 games earlier this year. Oh, gosh, that's also true. And then there's the quote of the night last night by Isaiah Thomas, LeBron's new teammate. Quote, it's going to take me 15 to 20 games, maybe a month, before I feel like I'm physically back at the level I can play at. Oh, that's also true. Listen, man, there's two bandwagons in finance, in life, in business, in relationships, in sports you can jump on. The sky is falling. Go for it. Go for it. Or, yeah, I'm going to trust LeBron. The East is still weak. They have Isaiah, Kevin Love, and LeBron. All can be elite scorers. They have a ton of postseason experience. I think they have a pretty solid coach. They still have a trade they can work out. LeBron tends to attract other good players. I'm going to go on that side. And then you and me, this is why sports is awesome, we'll get to the All-Star break, and we can argue back and forth. And then we'll get to the playoffs, and we can argue back and forth. Life gives us all opportunities to jump on two bandwagons. There's the I'm out of here, and there's the I'm going to take a deep breath. When it comes to the stock market, I don't think capitalism's ever going to die. When it comes to the NFL, I think Brady's going to work it out. And when it comes to LeBron in the Eastern Conference, I think he's going to be around in the finals, probably against Boston, and I'll take him. Even after losing to the best NBA team in a decade last night in a very competitive game. All right, let me shift to this. I used to live in Vegas, and I lived in Vegas for about 6-7 years. Really enjoyed living there. I was single at the time. It was fun. It was crazy. And you could bet sports. Got to be honest. I was a kid from a small town. I didn't know any sports gamblers. It's kind of fun. You move to Vegas, guys are betting sports. And over time, I met a bunch of guys that do that for a living. I met some odds makers, and they were always kind of interesting people. I've never really stood the stigma against sports gambling? I mean, you trust the guys on Wall Street with your money, but you don't trust the guys in Vegas? Both of them want to win. Both of them want to make lettuce. So I've always found kind of the betting lines interesting. And the betting lines often tell you a story. And generally, about 4 or 5 times a year, there's a number that Vegas unveils for a game, and I have a really strong feeling about a game, and then I look at the number, I'm like, Vegas is wrong. And I'm always wrong. I'm always wrong. Every stinking time. I almost fell in love with the Saints. Saints going to beat Minnesota. Then I looked at that line and I said, Minnesota's got the better team. And who led 17-0 at half and who eventually won? So if you look this weekend, it doesn't make any sense, right? New England is a 9.5-point favorite over Jacksonville. What? Jacksonville's defense? A 9.5-point favorite. That's what they'd be favored over, like the Bills in the regular season. That line doesn't make any sense. What? I said yesterday, I'm like, I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be competitive. And then I look at the line and it's 9.5. And I'm like, okay, timeout, Colin. This is one of these moments when you're going crazy, but Vegas always beats you on this. So I make a couple calls. And I'm like, how can the line be 9.5? It doesn't make any sense to me. And the Vegas guys said, well, there's 4 reasons. Number 1, Jacksonville took a 21-0 and 28-7 lead. Pittsburgh was completely flat, apparently looking ahead to the Patriots. Vegas will tell you New England never comes out flat at home in big games. The second reason is Blake Bortles was 5 for 5 in the red zone against Pittsburgh. Do you know who has the number 1 red zone scoring efficiency defense in the NFL? New England. All it takes is 4 trips to the red zone, settling for field goals, not touchdowns. That's 12 points. Number 3 is the Jags just beat Mike Tomlin. The Jags now face Belichick. Belichick's probably worth 2 to 3 points alone. And finally, the Jags are playing their 4th road game in 5 weeks. Do you remember the last time New England was away from Foxborough? Was it Miami on Monday Night Football? I can't recall. In the end, that number seems wacky, but here's something else to throw at you. Vegas knows New England. The last 15 times that New England has been a double-digit favorite, they're 12-3. Vegas smells the Patriots blowouts coming. By the way, that's not 12-3 winning the games. That's 12-3 against the spread. What did I say to you last week? 2-touchdown favorite over Tennessee. That doesn't make any sense. I was wrong again. Vegas always has a reason. They have no agenda, no bias. They're about getting it right. When you see that line in 9.5, it doesn't make any sense. 9.5, that's like a good team against a bad team in the NFL, isn't it? How often do you see 9.5, 10-point spreads in the NFL? Let's start with once a week. That's like if you're playing the Niners before Garoppolo gets there. That's like playing Cleveland, or you're hosting the Jets. 9.5, Vegas knows New England is going to win. Coming up next, we do this in all sports. We blame the last guy who made a mistake, and we should probably give him a little love this morning. That's coming up. What will your story be in 2018? Now the holiday rush is officially over. LegalZoom can help make this a memorable year before the distractions take hold. How about make this the year you get serious about launching and running your biz? Rest a little easier, knowing your family's future, squared away with the right estate plan. LegalZoom is not a law firm, but has the resources to keep you on the right path, including advice from a network of independent attorneys. All at your fingertips, just go to LegalZoom. All right, whether you want to take your business to the next level, or you just want to take care of your family's will, estate plan, LegalZoom kind of plugs right into your life. So all that minutia, all those details, all the litigation, legalization stuff, they do it for you. Get off to a strong start in 2018 with LegalZoom. All right, LegalZoom.com, promo code Colin, C-O-L-I-N. LegalZoom essentially is where your life meets legal. LegalZoom.com, code Colin.